time for Diwali, there is good news from the line of actual control. Sources have told Times Now that sticking to the announced timeline, India and China have completed disengagement in the Depsang and Demchok area. Army sources say that patrolling in eastern Ladakh will begin soon and the modalities will be decided by the ground commanders. Sources also say that 4 years after exchanging blows, the troops from both sides will also exchange sweets on the occasion of Diwali. Now, Defence Minister, who was in Tezpur where he celebrated Diwali with the Jawans, credited continuous efforts for consensus. Beijing's envoy to India said that the relations between two countries are at a new starting point, with China ready to work with India.
साथियों, जैसा कि आपको मालूम है कि LAC पर कुछ क्षेत्रों में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स को रिजॉल्व करने के लिए भारत और चीन के बीच डिप्लोमेटिक और मिलिट्री दोनों ही लेवल्स पर बातचीत हो रही थी। अभी हाल की बातचीत के बाद ग्राउंड सिचुएशन को रेस्टोर करने के लिए आपस में ब्रॉड कंसेंसस हुई है। यह कंसेंसस इक्वल और म्यूचुअल सिक्योरिटी के बेसिस पर डेवलप हुई है। जो सहमति बनी है उसके अंतर्गत ट्रेडिशनल एरियाज में पेट्रोलिंग और ग्रेजिंग के अधिकार भी शामिल हैं। इस सहमति के आधार पर डिसएंगेजमेंट का प्रोसेस लगभग यह पूरा हो गया है और हमारा प्रयास होगा कि बात डिसएंगेजमेंट से भी आगे बढ़े, लेकिन उसके लिए हमें अभी प्रतीक्षा करनी होगी।
All right, we have some breaking inputs coming in. After the completion of disengagement, we're given to understand that sweets were exchanged between the forces of India and China at the LAC. Remember, we told you, sources were telling your channel that this was going to take place. Now, this is according to information coming in. PTI says India-China exchange sweets at LAC. And visuals are on your screens at the moment. This has come after a long time. Srinjoy Chaudhary joins us with more details on that. These images of sweets being exchanged after disengagement is complete.
Yes, this has happened in 10 places. That's actually the important point, that in 10 places, sweets have been exchanged between Indian soldiers and the PLA soldiers. And that's a significant number of places. In 5 of these border huts and 5 other places is what we are hearing. And it has to be said, though, that nothing excessive is being done, because the Chinese, this is not some favor that the Chinese have done to India by vacating land that is India. So as a result, this is being done in the right way, in a positive way, but not being very excessive and effusive about it. Definitely it's a very important step, and one thing that India has done, has handed over sweets to the Chinese in 10 different parts of the Ladakh LAC in 10 separate incidents.
Absolutely. And these images, in fact, are not just, of course, about exchanging sweets, but they talk about the several hurdles both countries have been able to overcome to reach this point after marathon talks that were held for disengagement. Srinjoy.
Yes, of course. This has taken a lot of effort at a lot of places. One place where one very major discussion which took place was between Ajit Doval and Wang Yi. And that was a very, very important meeting. So we have to admit that, yes, the National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval, and the External Affairs Minister, S. Jaishankar, played a very important role as far as this process is concerned. So both the NSA and also the EEM have played an important role to ensure that this disengagement process has happened. Now there is another step coming up. There are just across some distance away, across the line of actual control, there are still thousands of Chinese troops with tanks and guns and everything else. They have to get back to where they came from. And that process is really de-escalation. Now that disengagement is done, de-escalation has to happen, and that de-escalation process is yet to start. Sure, it will happen, and it will happen soon, but that process has to start once both sides have their soldiers and their weapons back to where they actually belong, then both India and China will be able to say that the situation has completely eased.
All right, Srinjoy, thank you very much for getting us the details.